20 bucks. 20 bucks. We're on the line for 20 bucks. They keep on playing, but nobody's paying. They'll dance some nickels and some dimes. Boom, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Hi guys, it's your boy from Montreal. Great band. And I'm Maggie, Mrs. Calabash. So come into my kitchen. We've got beautiful smells going today. I hope you're safe and well and enjoying this gorgeous weather. Today I'm thinking light lunches out on the patio, something that's light and easy, can make into a supper, something for the weekend. And it's a coconut and lentil soup. And I'm making pizza pockets. So I just want to get the soup started. So let's go back to the butcher block. From the butcher block back to the stove. So come back with me. In here I've got the stock, the broth. Now today I'm using chicken stock, but if you're vegetarian, use a vegetable stock. Either make your own by boiling up the skins of vegetables, the roots of vegetables, save in your vegetable water, or you can buy a vegetable bouillon. And I just want to I've got some carrot and I've chopped it fairly finely. Now these won't take much cooking because these were new carrots. And because I've just put that in there, today I'm using canned lentils, but I have given you the recipe, what to do if you're using dried lentils. So we're using lentils and split peas. So I just want this to cook until that softens. So let's get it started and let's finish off the pizza pockets because they've got to cook. So come back with me. For the pizza pockets, I use the individual pizza dough that's on Mrs. Calabash Cooks. The recipe is there, the instructions are there, and I used instant yeast. Now, if you're using instant yeast, there's no need to use sugar, and it needs a higher temperature of water. And I've given you the temperature, it's 120 to 130 Fahrenheit, 49 to 54 Celsius, but it's quite hot when you poke your finger in. And so it makes a pound of dough. And so each of these little pizza pockets is about 2 ounces. So you can either roll them out or get the kids to pull them out like that. And remember, the surface that was rolled out is always the better surface if you're rolling. So that was the inside, that was the better surface. I have prepared some before because you don't want to see me rolling out 8 pieces of pizza. Remember, I'm just putting a little water by the edge so that I can seal it. And remember, keep it away from the edge, the filling, because it will escape. So a little tomato sauce on there, like that. Now, we're making a cross between, oh look, I've managed to make a mess. I've been so careful. We're doing a cross between a pizza pocket and garlic knots because I'm using the topping that I use for the garlic knots. You can put anything in. I've got some chopped pepperoni here. Bacon, a little bacon in there is rather nice. If you're vegetarian, just concentrate on vegetables. So it's entirely some peppers, whatever you like. Just the same as goes on a pizza. I've got some chopped tomatoes here, which I'm going to put in. Now remember, we're getting quite a lot in there and they have to fold over on each other. So there we are. We can't overfill. And some cheese. Whatever cheese you have to hand. Let's move that over there. Now, we're going to poke the filling inside, and you can pull the dough over like that. Can you see what I'm doing? Let's see if I can turn this one this way. Pull it over, poke the filling inside, and then with a fork just press the edges together, because you want it to seal well. You don't want the filling to escape, or try not to let the filling escape. You see, I've prepared these beforehand, so let's just put them on that. I've got the oven at 460, and they'll take about 15 minutes to cook. 450 to 460, depending on the oven. Now here I've got some melted butter, a little garlic powder, a little oil. I've put some olive oil in, and we're putting this on the top. Just brush it on the top like that, and then I've got 3 teaspoons full of butter and 1 of oil. And so let's put these in the oven, about a teaspoonful of parsley. So let's put these in the oven, put them to cook, and then we'll just brush them over with a little topping when they come out. So there we go. Whoops, let's put this over to one side, clean up my board. Just make the board nice and clean. There we go. I like these I knit these tea towel dishcloths, because when you're using flour and dough and you rinse them out, it goes all the way through and they don't go gungy. So put that over there, wipe my hands, and back to the stove. Sorry, Derek, I'm jumping around. He shouts at me. I know.
Just don't go up.
Don't go up. That way. Oh, I go through the ceiling. So come on, come back to me. Let's just move this pan over to the other side. There we go. Now, whew, it gets quite warm actually in the kitchen. If you're using canned lentils, which I have today, rinse them, put them in a sieve, rinse them, get away all the liquid, because that's the chemicals that's in there and you don't want those. It can cause a lot of flatulence, all the things that they cook it in for preservation. So we've got in there, I didn't put the ginger, 1/4 of the ginger. That's grated ginger. Now, if you, as I said before, if you can't get to the store to get fresh ginger, if you live in the middle of the country, use powdered ginger. Or you can buy ginger paste, you can buy preserved ginger in a jar. I keep some of that in the fridge, and then if I can't get out, I've always got something to use. If you're using dried ginger, half the quantity for the fresh. So let's just cook those on there like that. And now, look what I've got. I've got curry powder. That's Mrs. Calabash curry powder. You can use butter or coconut oil to saute the vegetables. I'm using coconut oil today. I like the coconut oil and it's very good for you. Green onions, it said 7. Well, the green onions that I got were very big, so I used 4. You know, it's just a matter of choice. And we've got some more ginger. Sultanas, now these were a little bit, or raisins, golden raisins, they were a little bit what I call mean, a bit dried up. So I just soaked them in water overnight, and so they've plumped up nicely. Some ginger, some tomato paste, and we're off to the races, as the saying goes. Now that's quite warm, so we need to add the onions to that. And by sauteing like this, we're going to bring out the flavour. The rest of the ginger, I just divided it into 2 so that I wouldn't put it all in there without thinking. I have a habit of doing that. I think it comes with old age. Oh, I'm only supposed to put half the onions in. Well, I put them all in. You see what I say? Yep. And I'm going to put the curry powder in there to toast. Not exactly on the way that it says in the book, but never mind. We just put the curry powder in so that it becomes fragrant. The raisins, you see, we want to get everything coated with the curry powder. The tomato paste. If you don't do this, the curry powder and the tomato paste can taste a little bit raw. Tomatoes always need cooking out. I'm now going to put the lentils in that pan over there to start cooking. Turn it up. Let's turn this down a little bit. And we've got coconut milk. When you're buying coconut milk, I'm a little bit fussy when it comes to coconut milk because a lot of the coconut milk has got thickening in, agar, which is a thickening agent. It's a gelling agent. And I like to buy coconut milk that's just got coconut and water. It's just a personal thing. I have this thing with coconut milk. And so let's just bring this, stir it round and bring it up like that. So you can see it's a very easy soup to make. But we need to mix all this in well together. And I'm going to taste this to see, when it's all mixed in together, to see what this tastes like. And you can serve this either as it is, or over rice, over couscous, or over quinoa, if you want to make it a little bit more substantial. So let's remove dirty pot. I hate looking at dirty dishes when I'm cooking, which is very difficult. There we are. So let's just have a little taste. It should It needs a little salt to bring out the flavour. It does taste rather nice, but it needs... Let's just put a little salt and pepper in. Oh, excuse me. Give it a stir. You see, oh, the curry powder's got to me. Excuse me. You see, I keep tasting as I'm cooking, because you don't want to put all the seasoning in at one go. It might not be enough. It might be too much. You can't take it out, but you can always add to it. And I was always taught that you season in layers. So you taste it, add some more, do a little bit of seasoning, and that's the way to develop. The flavours all develop as they're cooking. It needs some salt and no more pepper. I like to use sea salt in cooking rather than just an iodised salt, because you see you've got the iodine in the sea salt. That is much better. Not quite there, but I'm going to leave it and just bring this up to the boil, and we're going to add it to the lentils. And then when everything's cooked, we can add some more. Now, the reason why they add iodine to salt, if you've not got sea salt, is in Derbyshire, there was a place where they use rock salt, because they used to mine the salt in the hills, and I don't know how, but we live quite close by, and there was an awful lot of people with thyroid problems, underactive thyroid, and iodine is good for the thyroid. And for years, this is going back to Victorian times, nobody could understand why everybody was ill in this particular area where they use this salt. And it turns out that the salt didn't have any iodine in it. And so they had what's called goiter neck. And once they added iodine to the salt, then everything was cured. So that's why, the reason why iodine is added to salt. Just a little bit of information. That's boiling beautifully. So let's move this over. These handles get very hot. We're going to pour all this into, we don't want to waste any, all that into there. And let's boil that down. Put some water in my pan, turn that off, clean my stove top because I've made a mess. And because I'm using shop lentil, canned lentils, they don't always drop as much as the dried lentils. The dried lentils go into more of a mush. I have actually got the little blender, immersion blender, so that I can blend. I want to blend the two things together. So I'm just going to bring these up like this. Bring this up, because with using the canned lentils, it doesn't take very long to cook at all, and I can now smell the pizza pocket. So let's move that over there. Let's have a quick look in the oven and see how things are cooking. Oh, look, they're coming. They're coming, but they're not. Oh, look. So that's what I said about about trapping it well. sealing the edges because it will escape. So I made them yesterday, non-escape, typical, isn't it? But we don't want to boil that too much. Now you can, it depending how much time you've got with this, you could let this cook on the back of the stovetop all morning and the flavours would blend beautifully. Or if you're in a hurry, like I am, use the canned lentils, half an hour and you're going to be there. I'm just going to give it a little bit. I love these immersion blenders. What did we used to do without them? Lovely. There. I think that will do. We can always come back and do a little bit more. I'm going to have another taste now because I've mixed in some of the flavours. And so, as I say, I never believed the fact of seasoning that you could tell if you'd season at the end. Oh yes, that's good. The tomato is there, it's not too strong. When I was, my last exam at culinary school was a 6-hour exam. And mine was a dinner party. And I had mashed potatoes. And I forgot to season the potatoes at the beginning. I forgot to season the water before I put the potatoes in. And the examiner came round. We had 2 examiners and they tasted everything. And she got to the potatoes and she said, oh yes, Miss Allen, because you were always called Miss. Yes, Miss Allen. And who forgot to season the potatoes to begin with? And I thought, wow, I didn't know. And I said, you can tell? And that's when she explained about the layers of seasoning and how it actually gets into the food in the beginning and you gradually add. And so I did actually pass, I got a first, but it was interesting because it would never, ever have occurred to me that, and it didn't, I thought, great, I seasoned it at the end and it tasted fine to me, but she could tell. So I haven't got that perfect taste, but come on, let's go back to the butcher block because I've done enough yattering. I'm going to get a little piece of paper for that. I want to take that spoon out, and this is the remainder of the butter and the oil and the garlic powder. I'm just going to flash it under the microwave because it's gone a little bit solidified. So let me just flash it. 5 seconds? Let's just do it for 5 seconds. When I had the restaurant, I said I'm never going to have a microwave. Didn't believe in them. And we could do another 5 seconds. And within a week of opening the restaurant, I had 3 microwaves. They are so useful. I don't cook a lot in the microwave, but for doing things like this and just sometimes like with sweet potato, you need just to cook it a little bit and squash to be able to peel it, put it in the microwave. Oh my gosh, it's heaven. And so let's have a look. I think these will be, oh, perfect, perfect. Cancel the oven. They're very hot, but look, you can see where it's escaped. In a perfect world, that shouldn't happen. But let's just brush the tops just with a little of the oil, and it's lovely for the garlic. It keeps the tops nice and soft and adds beautiful flavour. Scrape enough for this last one. There we are. Now I'm going to serve these in a basket so people can help themselves. It's fallen. There we go. I've made a mess of my beautiful clean serviette. I'm not going to waste that cheese that escaped. It's going in with the pizza. So you see, it turns into quite a substantial meal, and you could feed between 4 to 8 people, depending how hungry they are with this. I can only eat 1 pizza pocket, but Derek can eat more, can't you, love?
I can.
Yeah, and he likes them as a snack. They're gradually taking over from pizzas as a favourite. So let's clear this space, and we will bring the soup further forward and serve up the soup. There we are. One handle's hot, one handle isn't. So I'm going to put that into a soup tureen. And let's see if we can transfer it without making a mess. Oh yes, but look, there's all that. Yeah, I know, I've not finished yet. There's all the lentil puree at the bottom, which we don't want to miss. So that wasn't bad, just a little bit of mess, just a little bit. $20. We will finish off with a little cilantro for $20. They keep on playing. So thank you everybody for watching. Please stay safe, stay well. Go on to Mrs. Calabash Cooks on Facebook. We're also on YouTube. The recipes are up there, and I will see you again next week. So we'll go out with Jabor. Behind the thigh on $20.